You are surrounded by abundance. Breathe it in. It's already yours. The universe is listening. Speak your desires into light. The garden grows because you believe. This is your time. Welcome to Manifestation Monday. You are surrounded by abundance. Breathe it in. It's already yours. The universe is listening. Speak your desires into light. The garden grows because you believe. This is your time. Welcome to Manifestation Monday. Hi there, everybody, and welcome to the last week of Mercury retrograde. That's why you got to see the little intro a couple of times, but that's okay. It doesn't hurt. Welcome. Welcome to the House of Zelda. Welcome to True Oracle. Welcome to Manifestation Monday. Got a full show for you. Hello, my darlings. It's been a minute, it seems like, since we've been here, right? Good evening to each and every one of you. Welcome on in. Much love. We got a lot to talk about today. Yes, just a little bit. I'm trying it out. We're going to see how it works. So thank you so much. But anyway, I hope you all are okay. We now, like I said, in the high candy, my darling, we are in the last week of Mercury retrograde. Get ready. Get ready, because these next few days, we only have 5 more days to go. The next few days are going to be like, that's the way it's been. So it is what it is. We get through it. We always do. We always will. And no matter what happens, we will. A couple of little announcements. And I don't see these people in here, but I still have to give them homage because I got some more gifts today. Patricia White. Look what more journals. And let me tell you this, my darling. Love it. Debbie, yes, my darling, just let me know his name and we'll sing happy birthday to him, okay? The other thing, I know that you're coming in. The other thing, now, I know this looks like a contraption. I know, but I got to tell you this, okay? This is so, Virginia sent me one, and thank you to you. And Patricia sent me another. Listen, I'm all over the place filming content. And let me show you this thing. This is like heavy duty hello. And so you put it on a table or any type of surface, and then you put your little phone in there and clasp away. And I'll tell you what, it is so handy. Thank you, Patricia. Thank you, Virginia. Thank you. You guys are always so generous. So I had to just, once again, and listen, I'm going through these journals like no tomorrow. Okay. So, and Toby's birthday too. Okay. Candy. Thank you. Thank you. Okay. Well, here we go. Let me know your little one's name, your little kiddo, Debbie. Let me know your kiddo's name, Debbie. And hi there, everybody. It's Ian. Oh my goodness, I think I can remember that name. Okay, so let's sing. Let's sing, everybody. Ready? Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Ian. Happy birthday to you, and many more. And we're sending you all kinds of healing. Okay, there you go. That's number 1. Now we got, where Debbie has a birthday, that name just cracks me up. But there we go. So then Toby's birthday, and you all know Candy in here. And I got a little announcement I want to ask you about too. Get ready, my darling Toby. Here it comes. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Toby. Happy birthday to you and many more. They're my family, everybody. So wish them. And then we've got Weird Debbie. Weird Debbie, I love you. The name Weird Debbie. Okay. Okay, I gotcha. I gotcha. Do me a favor if you're coming in. Please give me the thumbs. Hit the like button, hit the subscribe button. Come on in. Amen. All right. We're Debbie. Here we go. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear. We're Debbie. Bless your heart. Happy birthday to you and many more. There you are. There's all our birthdays. Happy birthday to everybody who has a birthday this week. And may you forgive me, everybody. I want to show you a picture, okay? I want to show you a picture, and I want you to look at this handsome young man. This is Sergeant Hunter. This is Candy's son, my dear sweet niece Candy. He was a sergeant in the Army, and he was deployed and came back, and life got a little tough. And as of this past Friday night, he is no longer here with us. And I'm just going to ask you, if my friends cannot donate to me tonight, I have posted the links of an Amazon wish list in the description and in the chat. I've pinned them in the chat. If you could please go and show my family some love, and if you can't, that's okay too. It's not only a sad situation, but it's a sad time of the year, and he's got little kids. And because of this and circumstances, they have to move out of where this took place. So I don't want you to feel obligated. Pardon me. I just want you to know that we love you. And I want you to know that I'm so thankful that you trust me enough to allow me to do this. And I appreciate you so much. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to put up a banner right now for anyone who is having a tough time. And this is in the United States. They have changed the help number. Go figure. They've changed the help number. And it's now text or call 988. Makes it easy on a lot of people. So I want to thank you. And remember this past Saturday night when I said, oh my gosh, I think I know who that was. I'm pretty sure that was Dear Hunter that came through on the EVPs. This really, really sad part about this is he is, as far as I'm concerned, a part of our military family. And you know how I feel about the military. Because I come from a military family.
And I want you to know that because of the circumstances, their life insurance may not cover, they may not pay out. He's got a beautiful wife and 2 kids. So this coming Saturday night, I'm going to have a little fundraiser for them. They do have a Give, Send, Go. Thank you so much, Captain. They do have a Give, Send, Go. And they need to raise some funds for the funeral. But for right now, and if my eyelashes fall off while I'm crying, forgive me, because they may loosen up a bit. So, oh, Rosebud, okay, your daughter-in-law works for 988. Wonderful. So, anyway, thank you. No, it's okay. Aunt BB, listen. I learned this Saturday right before we went on air. And wow. So I wanted to wait and speak with Candy first before we got into any of this. And she is so grateful. And you can imagine that this is very numbing right now. The sad part of it is our United States, that he was a beautiful sergeant for, does not provide the mental health care that they really need. And I'm going to tell you just a little story how I know this, because I'm going to do the Give, Send, Go on Saturday night, everyone, because I think they're going to they may try to amend that, and they may be also amending the Amazon gift wish list. Excuse me just a minute, okay? Excuse me just a minute. Okay, just had to make sure it wasn't dripping and all that stuff. Anyway, so thank you so much for all your kindness. And so Saturday, I don't know what we have planned, but I'm definitely going to be bringing this to the forefront. Now, here's the thing. I know how these things can happen because I grew up in a military family. Everybody, uncles, all branches of the United States military. And I got to tell you, clear back past the Revolutionary War, my family, and we never lost a person to war. However, we lost people to circumstances, and it was very, very heartbreaking. I can remember a little kid, me as a little kid, wanting to celebrate the 4th of July, and my uncle, Ted, would just be shattered. And nobody would understand except, they were in the thick of it. My Uncle Ted was in Italy during World War II. And the sound of the 4th of July fireworks just leveled him. He couldn't handle it. And it would take him weeks to recover from just hearing that all over again. So you can imagine. Yeah, there's only going to be an Amazon link now. Saturday, I will put up the Give, Send, Go, and we're going to be doing that more. Okay. So, anyhow, I appreciate you. And please keep them in your thoughts and prayers. And then Saturday, we will have more. But you can imagine that Candy and I are pretty close. Pardon me. So, there is to Hunter, our darling Hunter. And thank you all. Okay. So now, my darlings, I've got to figure out. Let me grab a drink. And I just saw a headline. And thank you, Hunter. I am going to take you down for a minute. Thank you, my darlings. I just saw a headline about Charlie and Erica Kirk being trans investigated. I don't know what that means. I'm going to be looking into it. It's like craziness. So, anywho, I'm sorry. I'm sorry there, Christina. I'm sorry. Okay, my darlings. I'm going to leave that up. Aunt BB, yes, the gifts are going to go to because they're moving in with Candy. They're, that's why there's some things. So they're moving in with Candy. So yes, all the gifts are going to go to that secure address. And thank you so much for everything. So there you go. Yeah. And thanks for asking. That's a great question. So, okay, my darlings, there is a new Charlie Kirk video out. Not Charlie. It's about Candace. Craziness with Candace. Okay, I'm going to take that bander and the banner down just for a moment. Okay. So there we go. I think my eyelashes are intact. Yeah. Everything's still stuck on. That's a good thing. The glue, now I can recommend that. There we go. Now I want to talk to you tonight about, excuse me just a minute. Excuse me. Okay, there we are back again. Hello. Thank you so much. I just had to blow my nose, and I didn't want to do that in the mic. I got to tell you something kind of funny. Okay. Thank you guys for everything. And Candy, you're my angel. Okay. All right. Oh yeah, you like the little. Okay, let me explain the background. This is my background that I made. There's the little ghost in the bottle. I have a story about him. I'll tell. Of course, there's Poe. Oh, wait a minute. We need a fireplace sound. Wait, Zelda, what? Wait, what? And Lord Gregor cannot make it in tonight. I could get a real Poe, but Mrs. Marie from True Oracle tells me that they're mean. I've never had that experience. So there we go. My nose matches my lipstick. Which, by the way, you ladies out there, the retro, beautiful Revlon for the holidays has just come out with their 1990 shades of rum raisin. And look at this. It is glorious. This one is about like a bomb. I don't sell it, but I'm thrilled because rum raisin was my jam and I have to share it with you. Okay, let me go back. Let me see. I sent you a picture of Midnight looking out the window of her birthday. If she. Oh, thank you. Thank you. Maybe we can get to it. Thank you. And thank you, Roxy. You guys are top shelf. Okay. That was such a nice message that Lord Gregor left in it. It was. Let me tell you about Lord Gregor. And let's hope he's not listening. Now, none of you have done this, but I have to just kind of like grin. Oh, I love rum raisin lipstick. Hello, this is it. Hello, you're gonna see me maybe every now and then in a pink, but rum raisin is my jam. And I got it off the Taki Tick shop. It came with a regular lipstick, a lip liner. I know, important thing for you men in the chat. I got a lip liner, this balm that is just like hello. And then, well, I want you to, okay. I'm going to tell you a little bit that I know of Lord Gregor. And when I talk with him on Zoom, I see the background. I see what he's talking about. I see all this stuff. So we had a conversation. Yeah, I think so, Rosebud. We had a conversation and I said, Lord Gregor, when was the last time you had a Christmas tree? A heck of a lot longer than I have. And so anyway, he says, and just so you know, this is Candy's son. This is Candy's son, okay? So I said, Gregor, hello, you are among family now. We're resonating and we're exchanging this about our lives and energy. And your family, you need. Okay. I really wasn't going to post the link for the donations, but okay, I will. Give me a second. Let me go find it. Let me find it. Let me call you sweetheart. I'm in love with you. All right, here we are. No, that's not it. Oh. Mrs. Marie just sent me something from Anastasia Beverly Hills and hello. All right. Rum raisin may not be a thing. Okay, I'm getting this for, it's a GoFundMe. And I'm going to put it here. Okay, I'm going to put it in the chat for right now for all of you. And then Saturday night, I'm going to do that too. There we go. Here it is for the GoFundMe on both channels. Okay, there we are. There we are. Hello. Oh no, the link is broken because it won't. The link is broken because it's too large. I'm going to have to work that out, okay? So I'm sorry. I'll have to work it out. And I'll probably put it in the description when we're done, if that's okay. So yeah, the link is too long for one message. You only get so many characters. Rum raisin Haagen-Dazs, that sounds like it. Okay, back to the Gregor saga. So I said, you need to go out and get a Christmas tree. If you're going to do this with me, Mr. I'm going to tell my life, and that's the deal. You know, he contacted me, whatever. That's the deal. Okay, good. Thank you, Brooks. Thank you, my darling. So he said, okay. And I said, and you need to describe, because, I mean, the man doesn't have a cell phone. He lives in the, I think you pronounce it Shumava Mountains. He doesn't have any of that. His one tenant does that comes and helps him with things, going into Prague and doing things. He does not go into public places. He doesn't do all that other stuff. So he went out into the woods, described what was going on, described everything to me, and everything that I do on his behalf, he approves before I post it. So that's the closest that we got to the tree with, I don't know, he's not put anything on it. I don't even think he knows. I mean, back in the day, they put candles on the tree, and I'm like, for God's sake, don't put any candles on it. You know, that could be a catastrophe. So anyway, I love these little videos that I just get cracked up. And especially the one trying to help him understand how he can make things for me. That was hilarious. So he doesn't think it's so funny. That was a 2-hour deal. I felt like I was going to Gilligan's Island, you know, a 2-hour tour. Anyway, 3-hour, whatever it was. So he texts me early this morning. And I want you to know something. He's not a vampire. That's my fault. I thought he was. He is an immortal. He is an immortal. He's not a vampire. When you hear all these things, oh my God. Thank you, my darling. Thank you. Thank you. So anyway, he's telling me, Lady Zelda, do women really talk the way that they have put comments on my channel? So he has comments on the channel. So he's not a vampire. He's an immortal. He's had encounters with vampires. Thank you, Miss Jules. Thank you. Thank you. That's my fault. I thought that's what he was. He never really, because when you meet up with these fine people, unless you go to New Orleans and unless they want clicks on the talkie tick, they don't come out and say, hi, I'm an immortal who has lived for 140 years. Or, hi, I'm a vampire that's lived for... So he said, do women really talk like this? And I said, I don't know. It just depends on the woman. And he said, may I read you? Because he does have access. And I'm not on his channel. I got my own and I got through Oracle. He said, may I read you some of these? He did not understand what he was reading. And he's reading these very intimate messages. About women wanting to fly to him, get to him, and what they would do to him. Oral and otherwise. I was embarrassed for him just listen, and I wanted to laugh because this is a think about Mr. Darcy, only older. Think about the Outlander. Think, this is kind of how I feel. I feel like only this is just something. And I said, no, my darling. These are women that, you know. And I said, you got to expect it. Take a look at yourself. And, you know, he says, I don't know. What do I look like? He doesn't have mirrors or... I said, okay, you see yourself how I see you through Zoom. Yes. I said, okay, that is very attractive. So anyway, I fixed the filters on his page, and I know no one else in here um, is doing that, but I thought I'd share that. An immortal is somebody who is lives forever. Eventually, he will pass away. Eventually, he will. But I have his birthday, and I told him, well, after all, I do like older men. So there we go. So, oh no, he did not stay from the chat because of this. He said he had something to do. And he had something to do, and he had to take care of some business, and he was riding Vespera. Vespera is his horse. She is a huge black. He did show me zoom of her near this. I mean, it's like this magical part. I feel like I'm Harry Potter, Outlander. And I have seen some of the other people around him, and they don't look into the camera. They don't anything. So I'm going to tell you his story, and we're going to tell it together. And I want you to know that since I brought him onto the scene, he and I talk almost every day. And he tells me things that I actually fact check. And I'm going to tell you a little story. Get on a plane now. I love you guys. If I got on a plane now, it would probably take me a 3 or 4 day hike to get to the castle, and there are no utilities and no amenities. And it's snowing there. So there's only the warmth of a fireplace. There are no. So he had to he had to take care of some business today. He said he's been wanting to do it for a long time, and there we go. And you saw about as much as you're going to see about him riding his horse Vespera. And Vespera is a meaning of, it's called, what they mean is, the name of his horse means the evening star. She's been with him. And when animals are around him, it's like aging slows. They eventually pass away, but aging slows. So he has a dog that's 35 years old. Anyway, not the best tourist spot that you want to go to. This area that he is in, there are things that live in this wooded area that are not. And there are some things that are in the catacombs underneath Vale Keep that is not good. That was there before they built the castle in the late 1400s. He loves animals. That much you can tell. In that horse, he just loves them. And they are attracted to him. And for that alone, you can tell that he's good. Because when I speak to him, you know how my cats are? When I talk with him, and if we have a Zoom, I will tell you this. He was in the Revolutionary War and left from Cornwall to come to here in the United States and went back. And the very interesting stories that he had, he does not have internet. The very interesting stories that he has, he was telling me that when they came from Cornwall over for the Revolutionary War, and they came on the ships, and they went over to here in the United States, so that's where vampires were coming from Europe here. Now, of course, they have their own story from Europe, from New Orleans and all that. That's a whole thing. But yeah, when it was Veterans Day and I said Happy Veterans Day to him, it's like, hello. He's kind of out of it. So he said when they were in the fields and they would have the fallen in the fields, at night you could hear the vampiric ones in the fields. And he said they came over with they came over with a few and they left with many. Now, the one thing is, you never know. One day he may show up here. I don't know. But they don't show themselves. And that is part of our deal. And everybody, including Anne Rice, when I had my little sit down with her and met that vampire dude that she was interviewing, and she said she was doing it for books, and he was frightening. He was a real one. You could tell, and he wasn't glowing like Edward Cullen either. He looked like he had a deer in the headlight look. Extremely pale, and he smelled horribly. It was bad. Anne Rice was actually in love with one of her vampire characters. We sat and had coffee. Yeah, some manifestation Monday. Here we go. But I'm going to finish with this and then we'll go on. Then we had beignets. We had coffee. Yes, found the entertainment channel. That's for sure hearsay. My gosh. I was there when she met the one and she was talking about the Lestat. The vampire that I met that sat down with her, there was another one waiting in the wing and he wouldn't even come near. That's how they are. They're not the real ones. Now, of course, they do what they need to do. But they don't do the Hollywood on the hunt thing. Now, I asked Lord Gregor when he's met, and he said he's done business with one because Lord Gregor has relics. And I actually got him laughing. I mean, I've never heard him laugh. He said he hasn't laughed in a long time. He was actually telling me that he has relics that are older than the United States alone. And that's only 250 years. He's got relics, pardon me, hair. He's got relics and I've got hair. He's got relics that he was telling me about, and I'll tell you a little bit about one of them, and he's going to fill in the cracks on the story. Because I am I'm fascinated with this history. And I knew that I would always meet someone because of my grandmother telling about the family, my family, Lady Ottilie from von Görlitz. And I'll let him tell the story about all that. You are going to hear it in his voice. What the voice that you hear is his voice. English is not his first language, and no, he's not Yuri. So, but he tells me all of this stuff. Hold on here. You guys are so cute in the chat. I've got to like go back and take a look at what's going on. But the vampire that I met, and that's a true story, with Anne Rice, because I had been down there reading cards, and I was actually introduced to her. He smelled, and it was a bad smell. It was not, it's one of those that you've just felt like taking your little, your little Burberry vial, and I sat there, and you know me, I'm a priss when I eat anyway. So while I'm eating my beignet, it's not with my hand. I don't eat with my hands. I eat fork and knife stuff. I'm sitting there like this. So we're hoping to get one out before Thanksgiving. So that way you've got something to do if you've eaten. You want to, yeah, worse than Bourbon Street for sure, Aunt BB. That's for sure. We're hoping to get one out before Thanksgiving or on Thanksgiving. It is going to be a podcast. You're not going to see me, you're not going to, but you're going to be hearing both of us talk. And you're going to be hearing how all of this came about. So, I got to tell you a little interesting thing about a relic that he has. And I'm going to let him, pardon me. Oh, I'm going to let, that's from crying. I'm going to let him tell the story. Hi, Globbies. Hi, my darling. I'm going to let him tell the story. But Vlad Dracul passed away long before he was born, about 80 years before he was born. And Gregor actually went to Ponari, I think is the castle that he went to. Ponari is the castle where they had the brown bears that invaded. And I asked Gregor, because there's always this legend about Vlad Dracul and the Ottomans coming over the mountains, and how Dracul would do all of this. Vlad the Impaler, he would do all of these very intimidating things, like, staking people. And he would do that on the way, so it would be intimidating. So when the soldiers got them, most of them didn't even go. They would just turn around and leave. Gregor said that when he was there, the poles, the stakes were still there, and of course nobody else was. He was still there. He actually is not a vampire. He is an immortal. So that's my fault. I thought he was. He just didn't really come. It's like, oh, by the way, darling. Hold on. By the way, darling, I forgot to tell you a most important part. I don't have those sharp little pointy teeth. I'm not a vampire. Because I kept saying, will you tell me about vampiric? And he said, yes, but I don't know much about it. And I'm thinking, how could you not? You are one, right? And finally it just came out that he's not, and that he is an immortal, and woof. I don't read this stuff. I read Anne Rice and all that other, but I don't read this stuff. But a lot of the lore and a lot of things have come from my family, passed down, about how we are not truly psychics, how I keep getting this one hair in my mouth, how, so he's telling me that, here's the thing, right? Evan sent, right, I love that. He is telling me, my darlings, that when they went, they being he and some other people that he was with at that time, to Ponari, I believe that's how you pronounce it, in Romania, that he said, I said, where, I want to know, and I've always wanted to know, where are Dracula's, where's the secret? Because, the stories were that when the Ottomans got there, that Vlad was gone. And he didn't come this way. He didn't go, that he was gone. And they always thought there was a secret passageway that took him to the sea. And there wasn't. He basically said that the passageway came around, and then it took him through there were these windy, through the mountains that horses wouldn't get to. You had to go on foot. You could not go. And it just is fascinating, these stories. Well, he has a relic from Vlad Dracul. And that's some of how he makes his money. He has relics that he sells. and he sells to another person who happens to be a vampire in Italy who has a storefront who is a vampire. And you don't see him. I have hearsay. I actually have. Yes, I have. I was introduced to the one by Anne Rice in New Orleans. So I have seen them. So it's just completely fascinating. And they're, my grandmother knew some. But see, my family, if you go back and look through Halloween, my ancestor Orly had a vampire, a man wolf is what they called, or not a vampire, a man wolf come to it, and he left them alone because she knew who he was. And I mean, it's amazing, and it's documented. I tell the story in one of the videos. So anyway, he had something to do today. He said it's been something that he's been planning on doing for a long time, and that he would tell me about it later. It's not my business what he does, whatever he wants to do. So that's where it is. So that's what he's doing. He's a gentleman. He's a scholar. He was an officer a few times. He's been trained as an officer. I'm fascinated with Vlad too. I mean, Kimberly, right? And the stories, oh my heavens. Well, we're not going to let you go without a birthday song. So the stories, so when he and I speak, sometimes it's German, a little bit. I struggle. I can understand him, but my German is Glaveklos Bulja, which means about as clear as beef bouillon. It's not. So, thank you, my darling. I did the this little thing here. All right, so let's sing happy birthday, and then I want to share something really important about manifesting tonight. Let me get back here. Where is our groovy chick? Here she is, the groovy chick, Cheryl. Her birthday is tomorrow. She's going to be 29 years wild. And I can't wait to see what she does for this next year. Here we go. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear groovy Cheryl. Happy birthday to you, and many more. There you go. There you go. So happy birthday, my darling, and thanks for coming in. You guys are so awesome in so many ways. See, I want you to know, you know that little song? This is all good, groovy Cheryl. I'm going to tell you, this is why I'm not married, and this is why I don't date. Because things are weirdness. Okay? My family. I mean, I can't help it. Remember the song? Love is kind of crazy with a spooky little girl like me. That's it. You know it. But there's a lot of energy there. And yes, I am so close to 15,000. You guys are awesome. So stay tuned for the content. I'm going to really be doing a lot of things because I got to share this with you guys. I have agreed not to show him on camera. It's like anybody else. It's like any others. You don't show werewolves. You don't show vampires. You don't show immortals. You don't show the demons. You just don't do it. But he has allowed me to make his image, and I have seen him. And at first it was because, hey, I'm careful. I'm not going to get catfished by a vampire or an immortal or whomever. I want to make sure. So we agreed. And there's a reason that he reached out to me, and I get it.
and it's fact checked and it's good. So this has become a friendship that is very, very kindred, I'm going to say. Good energy. And he's going to tell how he became immortal. One of the clues is that he has red hair. He has red hair. When he was a child, his father banished him from the family, and they were to throw him over the side into the rocks because you just didn't do that. Red hair is an extremely bad omen, and it was horrible. And he gave me her name. I can't pronounce it. Her last name is Slakova. I think her last name is Slakova. And oh no, you're not going to miss it. I'll announce it. You'll see it. It'll be all over. You'll see it. And I'm probably going to try to do it on Thanksgiving, and I'll, whatever. He, so she took him and raised him, and it was a decision then later on that he would become immortal. And part of it was so he could just kind of go back to the castle and take over. Because there was no lineage, it would have ended, because he had a sister and she can't inherit anything. So it would have went to ruins. High Fortress, which is the fortress by the castle where they did all their protection from, is abandoned and it's falling apart. Vale Keep is not. So that is why that that happened a lot back in the 1500s. All of you are asking what sign he is. He is the sign of Cancer. He was born under a Cancer sun. He is a sign of Cancer. It does sound like a movie script, and you never know. It might be one. You just never know. So anyway, I am going to copyright some of these sort of things but listen, they won't get this information. So but if red hair is a very bad omen back in those days. I've always happened to like red hair. My grandmother was red haired. The card reader, red hair. Like red hair. Lucille Ball, red hair. So, he is a water sign. I am a water sign. And he is true Cancerian, where he just wants to hang out at home. That's it. Just wants to hang out. I'm like, what do you do all day? Well, there's plenty to do. Oh, I'm sure. I'm sure. Well, did you sweep the catacombs? What do you do? And he kind of laughs, So anyway, he's a gentleman, and he's a gentleman with me. And every time he'll tell me things, he prefaces it with, I don't want you to think, that I just want you to know we have that energy, and I want you to know, because he's told me where I came from, and I remember my grandmother saying the same thing. Yes. See, his family, they're from Croatia, and they went over the Carpathian Mountains, and it's just amazing. Amazing. Oh, I love it. The love of my life growing up, not now, but the love of my life growing up was flaming red hair. So there you go. Hi there, everyone. Okay, so now it's time to talk while we're here. Manifestation Monday. Hello. He's very aware of world events and everything. He does not have a television. He does get news. He does have news, and I have talked to him about Charlie. So, yes, he's very aware of what's happening in the world. And in fact, the really cool thing about it, he brings an element to the conversation that is historically based, because pretty much everything that has happened now has happened in the past. We're just repeating. And the fact that it just seems so crazy to us is because we have not experienced it before. So it's a very interesting take. So now let's talk about manifestation. And he will be back soon in the chat. He'll be back. He'll probably read it, or he'll probably watch it, because he watches just about Julius Caesar. Now, he was not alive during Julius Caesar. That's correct. Thank you. I did a little thing on Julius Caesar. He does a Zoom. He has a device that the head guy, because he has farmland all around that they actually have that belongs to the estate, and his head farmhand, whose family has worked for his family, said he said it kind of messes up this guy, because this guy's grandfather was good friends with Gregor in 1902. And it messes up this guy, because now he's close to in his 70s, but they have devices, and they are allowing Gregor to have one of these devices. And I mean, he's learning. Never had to have one. Damn it. Oh, did he? I did not know that he said that. That's very kind. Oh, I'm sorry, Rhonda, and thank you for your kind words. Thank you, thank you. I know. Listen, Miss Jules, I got to tell you this. I'm a cleaner, and you would not know it, because I'm so busy, and intrigued. You would think that I'm immortal, because I only get about 2 or 3 hours of sleep, and I got so much to do, and I got to tell you, I'm so thankful. But I'm going to tell you this. I bought one of those steam cleaners off of the Talkie Tick shop, and I'm so excited. You would think that I'm getting a 9-carat diamond. I don't care. I'm getting a steam cleaner. And I'm going to take one day, and I'm going to go zippity-doo-dah through this place. I live in a condo on the bottom floor in an end unit, and it is the dustiest joint that I've ever lived in. It is dust constantly, and it's not cat hair, it's dust. Do you have steam clean? It's a yellow one, that's all I know. The Talkie Tick. Yeah, we can't say those other platforms here. So anyway, Nana, okay. My grandma taught me to read when I was 12 or so. She can trace our family back to the early settlers in Salem and Essex, Mass. Several of my ancestors were offed during the yeah, see? And you think the Salem trials were bad? Wait till you hear him tell the stories of those in Europe. They made the trials here isolated in Salem look like it was bad. And I mean, it was bad. Many people had to leave and go. My ancestors left. They fled and went to other, I mean, it was bad. Let me see. What did he, hold on. Yes, after I commented, he said that after you thanked me, he commented very sweet. Oh, that's nice, Tammy. Thank you for sharing that. That's very kind. Thank you. Trace back to the 600s. There you go. See? Our families can get old if you allow it. So here's the thing, okay? There's so much in this world that has been shut off or shunned because we don't understand. And sometimes it's just a balance of society and of human life. You have to have this side in order to have this side. A pastor came to me one time and said, "You're going to go to the hot place because of what you do, what you are, blah, blah, blah." And I told him, I said, "Look at it this way, buddy. If I didn't do what I do, and if I wasn't who I am, you'd be out of a job. And you wouldn't be making those big bucks sitting in your big house. So you need to be a little humble. There's a lot more of this world. And it's not because I'm open to it, it's just because this is my normal. To hear that I'm talking with an immortal doesn't shock me anymore, to think that I was talking to a vampire, or doesn't shock me anymore to think that I was talking to a dog man or anything else. Now, I won't go so far as talk to a demon. You don't do that sort of thing. But he is a believer. He doesn't believe, and he talks to me about the pain but his emotions have shifted. So anyway, so see, and that he has explained, and he said a little hint in the video yesterday in his, so if you want to go back, he says it first off, Lady Zelda. And he refers to me as that name. He does not call me psychic. He says he thinks that's cheap. I do too. So here we are. Here we live. There we are. Okay. Thank you so much. He said it's at first it was okay. And especially when he was able to come back and take over Vale Keep and step into the role that he should have stepped into. His family was gone. He said it was very hard to watch from afar. You bury loved ones, you bury family, you bury friends, it is extremely hard. There you go, Auntie Ann. There you go. I love that. Carrie, you heard that? You're going to hear more what that is. You're going to hear, I'm so excited. I can't stop talking. Here's the thing. You want to know why I have, whoops, wrong color, Zelda. If it's green, don't hold it up. You want to know why I love all these? Because I sit and scratch down what he tells me. And it's not my story to tell. It's his, and I want him to share it. Whatever. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you, my darling. My sister is the genealogist for my family, and although we live in America, we have a nose named after us in Europe. How nice. Isn't that funny? History is it is extremely interesting. And sometimes when your history comes out and your family history comes out and you think, but see, I grew up with it. I grew up with a grandmother who was more than. It wasn't that psychic type. She was just more than. She knew. And she loved that. Mitchell loves the green items. The trick. There you go. All right. Watching the ASMR video of looking out the castle window was so people, because what he does is he tells me this is what I'm seeing, and I'll either draw it, I'll hold it up to him, or I'll send it to him something, because we can communicate through this device that he's got. I just lose contact with him because this guy's got to go plug it in because we're on it
constantly. And I told him, I said, it might be a nice thing if you gave your man, because he does speak in that regard, my man. And that is not derogatory at all. He loves that family and all of that. So, um, just saw a headline about Erica possibly being preggers, just like you said. Oh, I didn't hear that. See, at first that was coming out. But if that's the truth, girl, let's talk about the timing, Erica. How far along are you? When you gonna start showing? Let's all be watchmen. Hello. Hello. Thank you guys. You guys are so wonderful. Thank you, thank you. All right, so let's talk about manifestation. That's why we're here. And we'll be talking more about Lord Gregor. And he appreciates your support, because the deal with him is he doesn't need the money, he doesn't care. And even if he did get monetized, he's not going to go live, and he doesn't need the money. And he couldn't get it anyway because they don't have like those debit card things. He doesn't have that type of thing there. So he couldn't get paid for it anyway. So the agreement is that if that happens, and it may, that he is going to allow me to use it to support the channels, which I think is extremely generous of him. So everybody go out and get yourself an immortal. All right, here we are. She's not pregnant. They said they were trying. I don't know. I don't know. I only like to talk about what is. What is. Okay, and babies were coming all over the cards. Oh, yeah, they were. About the first 3 or 4 times, they were coming out. And probably if I read on Erica again, they would come out. Hi, does Lord Great? He does have a YouTube channel. He does. It's called House of Vale Keep. Lord Gregor, House of Vale Keep. He does have that. So thanks for asking. And we're going to start doing some things. Is there a dating website? You know the funny thing? I kind of asked him about that. And he said that usually immortals do not date. They don't marry. It's not the same. It's not that same immortal versus mortal. It does happen, but it's not the same. It's a resonance between, not residence as in a living arrangements. It is resonance, resonance. And that's the whole thing. So she did an interview today with Megan. Lady Zelda did mention a book last reading, and EK said today, did say she is publishing his book. I did not see that. Thanks there. Thanks there. Patty, does he have a brother, uncle, cousin from me? It's different. It's different. Totally, 1000%, I believe it. In fact, totally 1000%. Carrie, great question. They do, but it's considered something else. It is considered bonding. And I don't know, you may talk to him about, I mean, I'll talk to him about it. But it's considered bonding. They don't have intimacy like mortals do, even though they are capable. Because this is something more deep down inside, that is more meaningful. And once they bond with someone, that's it. It's until that person passes. So there we go. Uh, Miss Jules, does Erica have a clone? Was the question. Okay. All right. So let's get into this manifestation stuff. He's not like Barnabas because he's not he can go out in the sunlight. It just drains him a little bit, but he doesn't glow like Edward Cullen. I ask him, do you sparkle? That took me 45 minutes to explain what that was. Seriously, this is like me. I want you to think about this for a second. Knowing everything that we have, and you go back 500 years, and you pluck someone out, you basically have to catch them up with humanity. The talk is the English is completely different. He's almost too courteous. And it's just wild. Think about that. It is like this, but he's Croatian, living. So a lot of it is High German that he speaks, which some of that is not even spoken anymore. I can understand it, but he has some books in his library that I wish I could get my little paws onto. But I couldn't read them anyway because they all need to be translated. Hello. But, see, he was a nobleman. And a lot of the nobleman libraries had these types of books. That divination types. And I think that's where the red hair. Hauptdeutsch. Yes. Bet those messages blew him away. They did. He didn't know how to take it because that's so forward. I'm cautious because he tells me the people are so forward. Well, yeah. Could you imagine taking him to Walmart or 7-Eleven? And a fight breaks out? He's probably so better off. That's probably why he's lived so long, because he doesn't have social media and all these other crazy things. Anyway, it is what it is. But you know what makes him laugh? Because he's watched for a long, long time. Yeah, old books. I have a whole library of the old books. But he's watched me for a while to make sure that I am who I say I am. That's a kick. Most hilariously is that, many times I'll say, oh, well, when I was 100 years, I was 100 years ago when I was a young woman, or, I'm 100 years old. He thinks that is the most funny thing when I've said that. And I say it as though it's true. You never know. Maybe it is. I'm holding up pretty good so far. Anyway, how about some manifestation? I love hearing this too. Old books, big castle, handsome guy, nice horse. Tick, 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 tick. If you're watching Lord Gregor, well, thank you, Ruby, because that was one of the first questions that I asked him. He knows I have a cat. He's seen him. He first saw me on the talkie tick and then came over here. He does like cats. He has a cat. He has cats. He has cats. He's got a dog that's 35 years old. He's got his mare, Vespera. He's got cats. You see him kind of, There are a lot of cows.
He was outside. When was it? A couple of days ago when I was talking with him, and you could hear mooing in the background. And you know me, I'm so fresh. The first thing what I want to say, oh, is that one of your exes? But he would see, he does not understand that. Oh, the cow in the back is your ex? Doesn't understand that at all. Hi, my darling Martha. Come on in. So glad to see you. So when we get to, yeah, I mean, its whole thing is, yeah. Oh, I think that's great, Jazzy. You just never know. Thank you. Thank you. I've lost some members because they think that I'm kind of out of my rocker, but it's okay. You know what? Listen, you know what? I've got to tell you this, my darlings. Oh, let me throw, because I've already, let me say. Okay, sorry. Let me throw up. No, I'm not throwing up. I'm putting up. See, I have to watch my language too. I'm noticing that, gee, I talk, it sounds weird. So there you are, to all of my wonderful bears for your grifting psychic. So, I'm so glad that you're here too. I'm so glad that each and every one of you come. But you know what? I got to tell you this. Thank you. Thank you. You know what? That's so kind of you to say. Get a haircut and get a real job. That's my message to everyone too. Because I'm going to tell you, the crazy happens. Give me a second. Give me a second. Okay. I have a real job. Oh, okay. So anyway, I've been hearing. There you go. Let me throw up now. No. I've been hearing. See, that's it. But I hear, and I'm going to say this right now. I hear of the constant and continuous battles on this platform and on others. It's a battle of opinions, a contest of wills, and I just can't subscribe to that. And that's why I want this. And look, I look at it this way. If you like that sort of thing, great. It's just not for me. You come in here, you're going to hear about history. You're going to be hearing about all this stuff, mysteries. You're going to be hearing about all this. And if it ain't your bag, that's okay too. I still love you. I'm not everybody's cup of tea, and I don't expect to be. And there's not a lot of people that are my cup of tea, and I don't expect them to be that either. But that doesn't mean I have to be mean and cruel and put up an opinion that doesn't mean jack all. It means that I stand by what I believe, and that is act like a lady and be like a boss. And that gets you through just about everything. Know your boundary, know where you want to be, and let it be that. There's nothing here that we can do. No, nobody did anything. I'm talking about all there's still this stuff going on. And it's stupid, hurtful, baloney, and you won't have that here. I've had people, I mean, my beautiful mods can tell you, I have people come in here and they're snarky, but you know what? Bye. Not everybody's going to like me, and I'm not going to like everybody. And I have my this is you're seeing, this is my home, House of Zelda. This is where we come to collectively talk, try to smile, be together, because as Lord Gregor says, life is too short. And it certainly is. I certainly do not want my legacy to be, and legacy, yes, we all have a legacy with many others. And we all have I feel that I have a legacy and I have a responsibility to my kids, to all of you. That is my legacy. You won't hear me getting on here and jaw-jacking, which I think is extremely disappointing, because it's not what I come into a channel to talk about. If I want that, that's easily found. So when I talk about legacy, and I'm going to tell you that one of the things being around Lord Gregor is I've learned about legacy and how important it is for you to leave a legacy for those behind. And I think there will be a day where I go off into the great unknown. But I think, do I want to be remembered by that chick who gets on the Talkie Tick and who gets on Twix and who gets on the Tube of Views and the Book of Faces, and I'm mouthing off and hurting other people and spewing out crap and wanting to do this for clicks? No. No, I don't. I want to be known as the chick who had the immortal, who had the Poe, who had the cats, who played the fireplace, and who had an absolutely hell of a good time while I'm here. That's what it's all about. So anyway, hello, my darlings. That's right, we want peace. That's right, I'm to that age too. Peace, peace, peace. So I was going to tell you about these 4 little chickens. It's part of a legend about these 4 little chickens who live near Cambridge, UK, who are really witches and who turn themselves into cats. It's just a little legend thing that I used to hear when I was growing up, and I think it's just, I don't know what it was. I don't know why. These 4 little chickens, I call my group chickens too. Who knows what I call them? People. And so that is representing those 4 little ones who actually, I'll tell you the story sometime, who Nathan Hale supposedly, allegedly, I don't know, it's not a fact, but they helped Nathan Hale with something, and Nathan Hale went back and built them this little hut, and it is a great-grandmother, a grandmother, a mother, and a daughter. And in order to travel safely, they just go around as little cats. So I thought I would add them and their little legend to my background. The other thing is right here, his little name is Freddie. And nobody really knows where he comes from, but he was found in this glass bottle in a library. Now, another story, don't know,
another story. Thank you so much, Martha. Character is right. Hello. This little fellow is supposed to be the sweetest little ghost, but he's enclosed. He was found in a library by none other than, now this is the story, don't know, and I'm sure it's just one of those German fairy tales that were really supposed to be scaring kids, right? That's what it was. But this fellow right here, Poe, actually found Freddy in the library. And evidently Poe, this Poe in the story, not my Poe, but this Poe in the story would go to the library and sit on a particular table or something, look at the books, until finally one day they said, there's a reason why this bird is coming in here. Why is he doing this? And they got scrounging around and they found little Freddy. And they named him after one of the ancestors of this place in Cambridge, Ravenscroft. So that is the story. And I just thought he was so cute. I can't let him out of the family. But I love this. I loved how I designed this. Actually, I wish I could show you a better view of it because I made the windows go way, way, way up. And you can see the top of these mountains. Hello. So there we go. Now, before we get started, Giovis, super sticker, thank you, my darling. Thank you, thank you, thank you so much for your generosity. Elizabeth has become a new member. Thank you and many blessings to you. Now we have a new member, Carolyn. Bless you. Always looking so spry and lovely and wonderful. Thank you so much. Honey, I wouldn't have it any other way. I am your friend. Thank you. Oh, yeah, he would freak out at Walmart. Here, if he would have been with me to the day that I went to Walmart. I don't go to Walmart. To me, it's a battlefield. I won't go to Walmart. Thank you, my darlings. I won't go to Walmart. Anyway, the day I went, evidently, I was going down the wrong. Evidently, you go in there and it's like the American highway system where you go down the aisle one way and you've got to come up. Well, I was going down the opposite side of the aisle because I wanted something on that side. It was like one of the main aisles when you go in the door. Oh my gosh. I was called every name in the book, threatened at Walmart. What? If he would have absolutely shapeshifted. I almost did. It was this is like an everyday occurrence here. Hello. No, he would no. You know, I got to think this. He just may be better off. I was thinking about that today. Because he feels like he has to tell me, I'm so sorry, I'm not going to be in your stream. You have a life. You can go and do whatever you need to do. I don't even order anything from there. If I can't get it from Kroger or Amazon, I'm done. My shopping days are over. Or the TikTok shop where I got my steamer. And what else? My rum raisin lip balm. Pardon me just for a minute. I do not want to have to go to a place where they wear their pajamas to shop. You can call me snooty. I'll take it. I deserve it most likely. So yeah.
We have a new member here. It is Stephanie. Hi, my darling, and welcome. I know you're going to love it here. Thank you. Thank you. Okay, now we better do what the sign says. Manifestation. Manifestation. Oh, rum raisin is the, oh yeah. Only this is kind of like the sparkly balm. It's the balm you put, and it just feels like, hello, lush. But here's the thing, Lord Gregor was around in a time where the women were beautiful and they didn't have to wear all this syrupy stuff. So maybe if he saw me in person with the eyelashes, don't know. Oh gosh, yes. Rum raisin. I don't sell it. I would. There you go. All right. A few years ago, I started noticing people coming to work on PJs. Maybe, I don't know. I just can't fathom. Let's talk about manifesting, shall we? Okay, let's do. So now it does not taste like rum raisin. It just tastes like nothing. Lipstick. That's all. Wish it did. I would be eating it. Okay, so let's talk about the manifestation. Hello, while we're here. So you just sent something Venmo. Hopefully it got and didn't send it to someone else. I didn't get anything yet, my darling. Oh, I did. I did. Thank you. Thank you, my darling. Pardon me. I don't think there's anything wrong with wearing PJs. I don't think we just should wear them to work or to shop in. Mix match ones with slippers. Stop. I gotta tell you this. You guys are gonna love this one. And when I say this, it's no, because you know I always love doing the accents, right? I always love it. I wish I could do Lord Gregor's accent. It's just so Croatian. But anyway, one day I had the cravings for Chinese food, which is about every other day. But I had this particular craving this one day, and I thought, you know what? This place is about 2.5 miles from me, if that. And I'm sitting here working in my little, I don't work in my pajamas, but sometimes I have lounge clothing. And I had on a t-shirt and I had on some lounge clothing, and I just got out my old denim jacket, the one that has the phrase on the, I can't get rid of it. I just can't. I don't care if I'm a billionaire. That jacket's staying with me. So I went, give me a second. So we go to, pardon me. So I thought, well, just throw a ball cap on, put some lipstick on, my sunglasses, got my bag. Now I didn't mismatch, but I went down to this Chinese place. I ordered before, called up, I want, and I'm not like Sandra Bullock at 3 weeks notice, I'll have a number 14 and the number 28. Oh, it's just for one. No, I don't do that. Just my normal little stuff that I love. So it's by the time I cut and run, it's usually always ready. So I went, I went down there, and this older woman, I just love her. This older woman is standing in there. She keeps looking at me. I knew she wanted to say something. She kept looking. Finally, she comes around the corner. She hands me the bag. Her little hand grabs the sleeve of my coat, and she pulls me close to her, and she says, "Lady, you so pretty. Why you dress like that? You don't dress like that. Why you dress like that? You so pretty. Lady, dress better." I thought I was gonna split. And she's probably right. And I'm thinking, well, what am I supposed to do? Put on my cotillion to go, I just thought, I got in my vehicle and I laughed the whole way home. I thought, well, so why? Oh, I dress better? Okay. I will if you're watching. And I do. I learned that lesson. When you want to cut and run and go out and get Chinese, you better put some earrings on and you better not wear your old barn jacket. Okay. So now let's talk about manifestation before everybody's like, what have you done and where have you going? Now, last time we talked, because you can manifest the life you want and the life you deserve. But unfortunately, we get to a certain degree and then it stops. And it's all of it is based on ask and you shall receive. Knock, the door will open. And yet it seems as though we ask and ask and ask and ask and ask. And then when nothing shows up, we wonder, is this real? And the answer is yes. It is based on physics. Yes. Yes. And here is how this happens. Here's how this happens. Okay? Now, there are several ways to pray. The Lord's Prayer is just that. The Lord's Prayer is considered to be an example. In the book of Acts, in the book of Matthew, the disciples say to the Lord, teach us how to pray. And that's when he goes into, and that's an example, that's a template. That is a template, the Lord's Prayer. So here's the thing. Okay? It has to be more precise, and you only ask one time. And here's why. Because, now Catholics call it Our Fathers. I call it the Lord's Prayer. However that works out is fine. It's all the same. But here's how this goes. Now, this is considered the fifth mode of prayer. And I'm just going to give you the bullet points. And when I get done with sharing this with you, it's very short. Pardon me. You're going to know exactly where you need to be with this. The fifth mode of prayer is not asking for help. It's a feeling as though the prayer has already been answered. How many times have we just, oh my gosh, we have to get this help. Oh my gosh. And yet it doesn't seem like we get help. And then, so here's the deal. If you ask for something, you affirm that you don't have it. You tell the universe, you tell God in his infinite glory that, hey, God, I'm confirming to you I don't have this. So why doesn't the law of attraction work? It's because we don't adopt one thing, and it does talk about it in the Lost Book of Thomas of the Bible. And by the way, I have some very interesting things with Lord Gregor that we can talk about too, but that's another subject. What we miss is the feeling. Now,
What is the feeling? People just say, oh, it's emotional. No, the feeling equals the language that the field recognizes, not words. I want you to think about this for a second. I want you to compare. Hello, and all you can see is my green screen. Well, let's see if we can work on this. It just died. I have to reload. Talking, and I look, and I didn't realize that I was gone. I'm back again. She's a talker. She's a talker. There we go. Can you all see me now? Can you see me now? Mercury Gatorade. That's it. Mercury Gatorade. Hi. Hi. So thank you very much. Here I am. It's all. I don't know what part you didn't get to or that you got to, but if I need to start over, I will. So, okay, Captain Harris, thank you so much. Welcome. Thank you. I had to just kind of do a little refresh because it's the StreamYard, not the tube of views. Thank you. Okay, so where do I go? Where do we go from here? Let's see. You said you only have to say it once. Okay, only have to say it once. Let me get back to this and I'll keep checking to make sure. Okay. So you only have to say it once. Let me get back. The Lost Book of Thomas. Let me just kind of start here. So instead of asking multiple times, it's this feeling of though you already have it. And I think I shared that when I had this horrible partner and I lost everything at his hand. And my grandmother said, oh my gosh, what are you going to do now? There's nothing. What do you mean? Oh my gosh, what do you mean? And I said, I don't have to because I know how it feels.
I know how it feels to have all that. And I just have to get back into that mode. Now, here's how you do it. Get your little, let me check. Are you still there? Yeah, you're still there. Okay. So here's how you do it. Get your little pencil, get your little pen, get a little slice of paper. Because you can manifest everything and anything you want. Watch me go. I watch it. Watch it. Okay. I want you to write down the word feelings, because feelings, I know everybody thinks that it is an emotional thing, and it is to a certain extent, but your feelings equal the language of the field that it recognizes, not words. Let me repeat that. Your feelings are the emotions that mirror the other of the field or the language of what it is you're trying to manifest, not words. I'm going to break it down for you. The ancient instructions, which is Aramaic, its translation, and I'm going to check on you again, just make sure that you're still here. Okay, here we are. Here we are. So here we go. And you can have all of the gratitude that you want, but you got to put in this missing piece, and it's that important. Here we go. Here's the missing piece, and this is from the Gospel of Thomas. The ancient instruction in this Aramaic translation says you have to ask without a hidden motive. Now, why would it say that? Well, because many times our emotions, our all of this sort of thing match and mirror what it really is that we want. You see, sometimes we feel that, well, I'm going to ask for this, but I really want that. You can't do it that way. It doesn't work, and it won't work, because I'm telling you this because it's not magic, it's not woo-woo, it's not some wild off-brand religion. It is physics. It is based on science. So you can't ask with a hidden motive. What would a hidden motive be? Here's an example. You know, I guess if you send me this particular guy, it'll work out all right. Now, you see, just by me saying that, it's not something that I really want, but I figure, well, it's better than nothing. Having this particular guy might just be better than nothing. Not going to happen unless you push it. And if you push it, oh man, how many times have I ever manifested anything that I push? Nightmare alley. Nightmare. Those times when I literally heard this audible voice say, don't do it. Don't do it. I'm going to do it anyway. And then it was horrible. So number 2, be surrounded by your answer. What does that mean? You surround yourself with your answer. So if you want a house, well, you got a picture of your house, you got a picture of your room, you got a picture of this. If you want retirement, you have a picture of what you are doing during retirement. Because if you ask for something that you don't already have, you're just confirming that you don't have it, and you get more of what you don't have. I know, it's kind of weird, but that's just the way it is. That is the actual law of attraction. Law of attraction comes first, and then you manifest it. That's why we manifest it already. There's many ways to attract it, but we're talking how to manifest it. Number 3, be enveloped, however you want to say that, by what you desire. That means surround yourself with whatever it is that you want. If you want to go on a trip, go pack a bag. If you want a new person in your life, make room for them. Clear out a couple of dresser drawers. Make room in your closet. Set a place at your dinner table for that person. It's quite simple once you get past that feeling like you're weird or feeling like you're gonna be put away. It's actually, there you go. Pray for the abundance without the badness. That's right, Jules. So it's I don't have that much to go, but here's the thing. When you envelope, being envelope means living from the outcome. Begin with the result. Don't work toward it little by little. You see? That's like you work for 40 years or 30 years at a particular thing. I was always so upset with how my father retired. He was happy about it. Okay. But I was always very upset. And here's why. Here's why. My father worked at General Motors for years. He worked because the farm that we had didn't produce enough income for a family. And he was in a catch-22 because he couldn't afford to work it and do what he needed to do. So he put me the head of it. Hello? That was the wrong decision, but I loved it. But I still had to go to school. We moved away from the farm. Blah, blah. He lived in an apartment for 30 years. The money he spent on that apartment, he could have probably bought a house and he could have used his GI Bill, but he didn't do it. That's because that's what he wanted. But I was upset the day that he retired. He'd been there for over 30 years, went in there right after the mustering out of the Air Force, went right into General Motors and retired there. I think it was more than 30. I think it was more 36 or 37 years at that time. He worked so hard, double shifts. He got paid okay. But when he retired, they gave him a Chevrolet scooter. Now, if you don't know what a Chevrolet scooter is, the Chevrolet scooter was like the very basic car that you could ever get. It was a piece of crap, and they didn't last long on the market. They gave him a watch that was not gold, this car, and you know what? They kicked him out and said, thanks. And the guy that took his place, they paid half what my dad was making. But that upset me. Now, the reason it upset me because I recognized how hard he worked for himself, for his family, all this. Now, he was fine with it. And that's another lesson that I want you to learn. Because just because I had bigger aspirations and by the time he retired, I was all over the world. I'd done a lot of things. I'd met a lot of people. And I just wanted that to be for him. But he wasn't cut from the same cloth that I was. And it took me a minute to learn that for him that was an accomplishment. And it was. He was proud. It was me that was the problem. But he enveloped himself, he surrounded himself with what it is that he wanted to get. He was happy with the apartment. He was happy with his job. He was happy with that. And for that, I was grateful. We were all grateful. So let me go back to this right here and say this. When you work that time, 36, 37 years, he's working up to it. That's not how manifestation works. And quite frankly, that's why in many years throughout my life, my family would have these meetings and say, "How's she doing this? How's she buying these businesses? How's she buying these cars? She must be doing something illegal." Unless they wanted something, and then it was okay, right? Because anytime the family needed something, they would call me and I would always show up. And I had the money to help them. But yet they didn't understand it. They did not understand that you can have the life you want, but you have to position yourself to get there. You have to position yourself in that mindset. And that's why many times when you're dealing with other people that don't understand what you're dealing, they're going to think you're doing something illegal and you're not. I would never promote that anyway. But they would think that you're doing, they'll look at you like you've got 14 heads. And then guess what? Doubt starts coming into you, and you've got to be very careful, especially when you're trying to manifest something so important to you. House, car, man, woman, retirement, trips. But you can have it all. You can have it all. I have. Okay, so here's now what you do. This is how you do it. First of all, you use all of your senses: smell, touch, taste, hearing, emotion. When you do this, wow, this just feels like that cup that when I went to the Bahamas, it just felt so great. It feels like, wow, this drink that I'm drinking feels like the one that I had when I was, oh, hear that music? That music was playing when I closed on my house. See? That emotion, the feelings, oh my gosh, I'm so grateful that this finally came through. Oh my gosh, this is fantastic. When you do this, it collapses every possibility into physical reality. This is not a religion. It is not bull. It is not woo-woo. It is an ancient spiritual technology. You are interacting and interfering with the field of the divine matrix. You have the capability. You were built to be this way. We were not built. We were not sent here to be poor, sickly, upset, and feeling horrible and homeless and hungry and all that. We're not supposed to be that way. But we have free will. And how many of us, I raise my little paw, have gotten to those times and to those spaces, and it was my fault. I had no one else to blame but me because I depended on things that I didn't listen to. This field responds. This field of divine matrix, of the ancient spiritual technology, will respond to you when 3 things happen. And it's a guarantee. But you can't do it just for 15 minutes and not see something happen and go, oh, well, because I'll tell you about that in a minute. So those 3 things are this. You have to feel the outcome. You have to live you have to believe, because if not, you're going to continue to tell yourself you don't have it. By asking is admitting to the universe. So that's why you only state, you don't ask. Wow, that is what I want. That right there. That is what I want, and I will have it. Now you're talking, darlings. Now you're talking. Don't be a wuss. Sorry. You don't be a wuss when you're asking. Even in that beautiful time God tells us, come boldly to the throne and remind me of my promises. Well, he's not saying that because he's forgotten. He is saying that, my darling. Give me a second. He's not saying that because that he's forgotten. He's saying that because he wants you to know what you're asking for and why. You ever see somebody go up to someone and it's so heartbreaking? Give me a second, my darling. Here comes Lord Gregor's link. I saw that in the chat. It is so heartbreaking when you stand at a checkout and the cashier says, "How are you today?" And then 20 minutes later, it's heartbreaking, the story. And we've all had a story. And I'm not saying to be that way. What I'm saying is, or not be that way. What I'm saying is there's a time and a place. What God doesn't want you to do is be a hothouse lily. He doesn't want you to fold. He expects you to be a warrior. He expects you to be this when the going gets tough, the tough gets going. So if you go up to, sorry, I got a little ringing in my ear. If you go up to the throne and you start whining, God, why didn't you give me what I wanted? That's just horrible. I feel so bad. What do you say to your kids when they do that sort of thing? Stop it and go in the room. Stop it. Stop. What he expects us to do, and the law of attraction, what he expects us to do is stand up and say, I lean on this. I'm supposed to be the head and not the tail. I'm feeling like the tail here, so I'm living like the head and I'm going to plow through. And that's where I'm going. Now, you promise this and you promise this and you promise this. But I'm a believer. I know you can do it. Let's go. Let's go. And I can't tell you how many times. Now, of course, you don't be disrespectful to our Father, because then you're going to get trouble anyway. But I can't tell you how many times I've done that, right? That I've done that, and zippity-doo-dah. It's because there comes a certain responsibility. With great blessing comes responsibility. And if we cry around, well, I don't know. Okay, so what's going to happen when you get it? Is it not going to be good enough? Are you going to be upset with it? Or are you going to want to take it back? You have to do what you need to do. And that is, my darlings, you have to use your noodle a little bit. See, just because it's not a religion, just because it's not woo-woo, just because it is science, doesn't mean that you can just sit back and say, okay, it'll happen when it happens. All right, never mind. Why is it that chick gets all the good-looking guys and look at her? Well, have you ever thought that it might be personality? Have you ever thought that it could be attitude? Because along with all this comes gratefulness. Listen, I am so grateful. I'm so happy. I'm so grateful. I'm so thankful. When you start writing that down every day, I'm so thankful. because having a new home is a reality for me. Having a new place is a reality. This is my reality. I live in my reality. Hello. And who's to say I didn't manifest Lord Gregor? Uh-oh. I thought about that. I thought about that. Imagine a world of all possibilities ahead of you. Right there. It's right there. So let's see what else. When you live as though it already exists, this mode of prayer allows you to rewrite your reality code. And yes, you have a code in the divine matrix, my darlings. You can rewrite your reality code. Get this, not only personally, but globally. One of my favorite proverbs, good news from a far land, however you want to say it, is like water to a thirsty soul. One of the great things that I did, Patty, that is an excellent question. What if Lord Gregor manifested me? That is a great, because that's another, I mean, that's a whole other show. Because the reality of it is, sometimes we have to wait for that other person or that other circumstance or situation to be prepared for us when it comes through. This is why I've always said, when you start manifesting and you do your first ask, don't ask any more. Because you already have it. It's already been manufactured. It's already been for you. I love it. Now, writing this, oh, guess who's coming here to dinner? Who are you? This is Shaggy Noodle. This mode, since it allows you to rewrite your reality code, you have to really think about your reality and why. What is your reality? And the reality is, have you accepted the way you live? Is it okay? Okay. That's great. Excuse me, sir. Look at him. He's showing off in front of Captain Jerry. Mister. Sir. I got to tell you guys something. You guys are going to laugh so hard. I laughed so hard the other day. Anyway, have you accepted the way things are in your life if they're not going so good? I can't tell you how many times I've heard people say, well, I guess that's what God wants. No, he doesn't. He doesn't want you poor and sickly and hurting. He doesn't want any of that stuff. And you shouldn't either. Stop accepting what you think is supposed to be your life and your reality. And you watch your life turn around. It's quite simple to some degree, but it's science. And when you remember that it is science and it's an applied science, it's just as easy as believing in the law of gravity. Oh, imagine that. I have thought about that how many times? Gee, do I have to get up in the morning and tie myself to some tree with 40-foot roots so I don't fly off into the cosmic unknown? No, you don't have to do that. Thank you, Melissa. Look at this man. So I want you to remember this. We have to be, right? Karen says, have to be careful. Look, That's where the saying comes from. Watch what you wish for, because you're going to get it one way or another. If you sit around, oh, I always get these janky guys that are alcoholics and even worse. Then you're always going to get these janky guys that are alcoholics and blah, blah, right? Can we be grateful for what we have yet still want? Absolutely. And because it goes hand in hand. Because we're told in all things have Thanksgiving. And I'm not just talking Thursday for those who are in the US. I'm grateful now. I'm grateful for but do I want more? Yes. I'm grateful that I have I'm grateful that I have all that I have and then some. And I'm grateful that there's more coming down the pike because that's the way it is. Once you start manifesting, you won't stop. Seriously. Once it starts coming in, it's going to be like, ho, skippity doo-dah. Yes. There you go. There you go. I'm grateful that you found me, Mama. Now, I got to tell you guys a funny story. That's how you do it. It's the I call it the fifth mode of prayer. And it's because there are other modes, you know them. But this is a challenge at first. And at first, you're going to have this inner part of you almost fight you. Oh, this isn't real. This is stupid. I hope nobody sees me. Oh, my darlings, if you would walk, sir, stop now. This is a cloth. It's not going to hurt him, but I have to get his attention. Thank you. That's right, Karen. Be in service of others. There you go. That's good. Let's go. I'm going to tell you something funny. Because, now I grew up in a German household. We spoke some German, but when I went to school, I learned English. And to this day, I still can't speak. I'm not fluent. I'm not going to say that I am. I know all the little buzzwords, and I definitely know how to cuss in German. And they don't have some of those great words that we do, but sometimes if I want to just, say like, may thy fornicate themselves and thou steed that they rode in on, that stuff I can do. I don't go down that other tank. Now, I've got to tell you this. In Germany, or in German, in Deutsch, there's a word called Dickerchen. Dickerchen is chubby. Dickerchen. And for many of us, crowd heads, short is dick. And there's a little at the end of it, like. So it is Dickerchen, or somebody, if you're feeling a little chubby, maybe dick. So I always shorten it. A few years ago, I had some of my friends coming over. I was in Florida, had some of my friends over from Germany. Hannelore was her name. I loved that name. She spoke very little English. I crippled along with German. And so we went to the store. Now, talk about Laurel and Hardy. That's exactly what we were. But we had the best time, and language was not a barrier because we had food. We go through the dairy aisle, and she looks at me and says, Zelda, das Käse. Ich bin eine Dich. Now, what she said to me was, this cheese makes me fat. But there's this poor little fellow that is, oh, there you go, Mariana. This poor little fellow who's stocking shelves is busting. He's just having a moment. He is busting it because it is so funny, because it sounded like she said she's a dick. Well, she did, but in another language. She was saying she was feeling chubby and that she got fat from eating this particular queso. So now I have, my birthday is 3/15 also, Mariana, the Ides of March. Okay. So now the kitties eat very well. Sometimes they eat better than Ian and I. I make sure that we do that. So when they'll come around, I'll say, look, there's a little dickikin. Or there's a little dick. There's a little dickikin. And I don't mean it in a bad derogatory way. As I've told you, I worked with a financial humanitarian group out of Canada, and I help them with arranging humanitarian funding worldwide for different places. And every time I say worldwide, I think of Step Brothers. Remember when they went worldwide, wide? Remember, I always say that, and it just cracks me up. I know, the silliest stuff. Worldwide, wide. So I'm talking to him on the phone Thursday night. And I love that movie too. I'm talking to him on the phone Thursday night. Now, he's a wonderful gentleman. He happens to be a holistic dentist, retired, holistic pharmacist, and a holistic doctor. He's in his 80s. He's got a great sense of humor. And he'll always call me and ask me about the mysterious what in the heck in the world. So I'm trying to do some paperwork that he'd asked me to do. Absolutely, Karen. I just got absolutely, my darling. You're not going to falter. You're going to be fine. So I'm on the phone with him. Got my little earpiece in. Hello. Got my little earpiece in. I'm a talking because I'm a talker. And Shaggy Noodle wants to start roaming over my keyboard. Wants to start roaming. Then comes Sam. Let me just roam, and not only roam, but stomp through. Then there's Petey Pinknose. Then there's Riley sitting over here. And I got frustrated. And what did I say with my boss on the phone? Just a minute. I have all these dicks on my table. The moment that I said, I felt my face mortified. And he goes, what? My son howled for 2 days over that because I don't say stuff if I have a mouthful usually. So I had to go through this little story about these little chubby ones, these little dickahens. So there we go. And I've been so embarrassed I haven't even called him today. He called me and I haven't talked. I've been so embarrassed. Because it's like, oh my. So, you know what? Oh no, you have to laugh because it's funny. And especially coming from Zelda. Sorry, just a minute. I have all these dicks on my table. What? And then, of course, I was so embarrassed, so I tried to make funny jokes out of it. And I'm like, oh, yeah, you didn't know how talented I am. And it just totally went completely downhill. But it was funny. So that's how life works, my darlings. You just got to laugh. You got to laugh. And I want to leave you with a little laughter tonight. So I hope that all of you can now know, get with it. Be bold. Thank you, Captain Harris. Be bold. I don't think I've ever heard a swear word out of Gregor. And I've been talking to him for a long time. And it's not like, I got to tell you this. I don't even think he knows of those type of pictures that you send to. He would be mortified. What a breath of fresh air. Everyone needs their own immortal. That's the way I say. Thank you, my darling Lisa. Thank you. Thank you. So I want to thank everyone for your prayers and your just beautiful well wishes and your beautiful, sweet response to Candy, to her family, to me. And I want to thank you for that. And I invite you to come over Saturday night. I'm going to have a little fundraiser for them because they do have to pay for funeral costs and everything. And quite frankly, we just don't think that the military insurance is going to cover everything. He's got toddlers, got little kids. This is tough. So if you do feel like giving, and thank you, Captain Harris, for putting that in the chat. If you feel it on your heart to give a little something, there's many things and many price ranges. And I want to explain to you one thing. You're going to see a bed. You're going to see a bed frame. They need it because I'm just going to say this accident happened in a bedroom and it's not recoverable. So with moving together, this is going to resolve a lot of things, but they need things. This just was a lot, and it's been a lot on them, and especially look how close we are to the holidays. So the kids need normalcy. They understand, but they don't understand. And it's really sad. So Candy did want me to mention that, and I am so happy that all of you understand. And I'm going to put up the help text again, which to me is just amazing. They are in Ohio. No, I'm sorry, they're not. Illinois. Thank you so much. The sizes are in there. So if you see the PJs, if you look closely, the sizes are in there. I think there's toddler this or something, whatever. So thank you so much. Pardon me. This is amazing to me, this number, because they have changed it. I was going to put that number, the help number up there. They've renamed it, thank God. Sometimes you just need a little advice, a little help. Pardon me. You have all helped. It's all wonderful. Thank you so much. But this is amazing because if you're feeling that time of year, all you have to do is text or dial. If you're in the United States, 988-24/7, and you'll get an answer. And I think it's a good thing. So thank you so much for the prayers. Mama Link, the link to the Amazon wish list is pinned in both chats, both comments. And then it is in my, look who's here. It is in my, why are you wet? Sitting in the sink. And it is in the description of this. So I want to thank you so much for being here. I wish you, every one of you, a beautiful and wonderful Thanksgiving. I don't know if you're going to see me before then or not. You never know. You never know. Now, if you have ordered your numerology and your readings, you will be receiving them tomorrow and Wednesday, and I'm all caught up. So I want to thank you very much for your patience, darlings. Patience. This little dickakin was in the sink again. Look at him. Look how he sits there. Hands folded. Who runs this place? Noodle. Is it Hims? Is it Hims? Look, look. This is how he sits on me, everyone. I mean, amazing. I mean, sitting, he does. He goes and sits in the sink. And then he'll, now Petey can turn the faucet on. So I always, it's paranormal Petey, all right, because he'll turn the faucet on and get in there and drink. And of course he doesn't turn it off. And then the sink is wet. And then this ham bone will go in and sit. Right, Bubba? Right? I know. This is my little chicken. And he wakes me up every morning for breakfast. But I got to tell you something about these little dickahens. They know when I get up in the morning that it's breakfast time. They're all out here waiting on me, like they hear the can pop, because they get a can first thing in the morning and then they just nibble all day long. That's cats. They graze just like me. So, oh, okay. So they graze, but if I make the mistake of going back to lay down, like this morning was 5 o'clock when they wanted their breakfast. So I went and laid back down again and I got back up. What happened? Oh, she went to bed. It's time. We get breakfast all again. No. They don't understand. They think that is a, going to bed, getting up. Oh, breakfast, ding. And when I say cheese time, I buy more cheese in this family for these guys than anybody. And there's a certain way that I say it, and you will hear an instant choir of meowing, and they all just go poof, right here. Cheese. But it can't be sliced. It cannot be chunked. It must be freshly shredded. Do you see what I got myself into? Do you see? This guy is the man of my dreams right here. And I love it. But anyway, I don't know if I'm going to see you or not. We'll see. Don't know. But I got to tell you how much that I love you and for going in and doing this. Now, they're going to be adding some more things. Quite frankly, I'm just going to tell you this. They are very shy. Very shy for acting. Acting. Very shy for asking. Great idea, Gary Sinise. Absolutely. Do you not love Gary Sinise? Lieutenant Dan. I saw him on the Lieutenant Dan on the band. Oh, hello. He's wonderful and a great idea. I will pass that along for Carrie or Candy. But they're just very shy about asking because this is new, right? But I can tell you this. They really need some of these things. They really do. And I will tell you, someone else was injured in the process. She had to go to the hospital as well. That was this past Friday night. She's okay. She had an injury to her hand, to her chest area. And it is heartbreaking to hear what they've had to go through. So, thank you for being here for them. I appreciate that. And just know when the time comes, and let me see if I've missed anybody. I don't think so. Look at this. Madeline is a new member. There we are. Have to laugh and sing a song. There we go. I'm so glad we had this time together just to have a laugh and sing a song. Seems we just get started, and before you know it, comes the time we have to say